Lead back up to 6. Sadler drives here. He is fouled. Let's go back and look at this one more time.
When in doubt, give it to your best ball handler. And you see Moore giving you a little bit of Rajon Rondo fake there and finds Goins open underneath for the easy put in.
5 assists on the day for Moore, doing a fantastic job. A little bit of Houdiniism right there, as they call it, trickery. Had everyone fooled. Anderson, don't want to leave him too wide open. Rims out, Baptiste with a follow. And I was at a practice recently at Newark, Delaware, and the coaches were telling Baptiste, just dunk those. Don't worry about putting it back softly. Big man can get up, just dunk those home.
He's one of those guys that I think is better offensively than he gives his own self-credit.
You know, overthinks it?
Exactly, overthinks it, sometimes passes up shots that he should take. He's really skilled down there on the block, has a nice right-hand jump hook. That time, he was just quicker off the floor and a little bit larger and stronger than the JMU Dukes.
8 rebounds on the day for Baptiste, the junior from Pittstown, New Jersey, a transfer from St. Joseph. He'll be back next year for Monte Ross. So Baptiste, a 67% free throw shooter, calmly steps up, knocks both in. He'll get a breather, and will bring in the newly engaged Josh Brinkley. So it's a 4-point lead for James Madison, and you made a good point earlier in the game, Ron, how if JMU gets into their type of ball game, their flow with their smaller athletic guards, it's going to be lights out for Delaware. But you see Delaware now slowing it down and getting their bigs more involved, and it's definitely swung the way of the Blue Hens.
JMU did an excellent job early at taking advantage of the matchups with these smaller sizes. As you see, Ron Curry nails the 3 in the deep corner. They have to get back to ball movement, taking advantage of their mismatches. Which bigger guys guarding their smaller guy and attack him.
And that's a freshman now with 8 points, and Curry as Street drives the lane, gets it up, can't get the fall, gets his own rebound and puts it back in. He's been quiet tonight. First basket of the game for Jarvis Street, who had 2 quick fouls in this ball game, which sent him to the bench for Monte Ross. Down the house with the folks wearing purple. Opportunity now for Delaware. Cut the lead down to 2 or 3. Big power move by Higgins, Jamel Higgins.
Quick spin that time by Higgins. He realizes he had the smaller A.J. Davis on him. When he caught it, just dropped baseline and exploded.
So the lead now down to 3, 11:50 to play in this ball game. The winner of this game plays tomorrow night at 7 o'clock here on the NBC Sports Network for the CAA title. They're going to get a goaltend. Count the basket. The chess match continues. And Ron Curry, the freshman from Pensacola, New Jersey, has been lethal from outside. 42-37 Dukes. 11 minutes, 42 seconds until we find out who will face off with Northeastern tomorrow night here in the Richmond Coliseum. And this was a scene earlier this year. Looked like Delaware had a victory, but with just about a second left in the game, beautiful inbounds pass, and Mr. Nation puts it home for the come-from-behind victory as JMU went into Newark and stole that victory away from Monte Ross and the Blue Hens. You still have the option of Sadler if you're Ross and Delaware, but he has not been able to find his rhythm today offensively, being held to just 3 points, averaging over 20, the leader in the CAA.
And you got to give JMU an awful lot of credit because of they put multiple guys on them, and all of their guards are 6'4" or taller and long and athletic, and they've really taken him out of his rhythm.
3 awkward in the air. Monte Ross wanted a foul. Brinkley there to clean it up, and he's fouled and will go to the line. And I think you bring up a good point, knowing how good Devon Sadler is, the young man out of Aberdeen, Maryland. You know, Matt Brady has done a great job telling Mike Corey, he said, he's a great player. We got to do something. He's thrown 2 or 3 different guys, giving him different looks every time, and just cannot find his rhythm. JMU,
they have a lot of lift. They're not ultra tall, but everyone's in that between 6'4" and 6'6" range, and Sadler's 6'2". And in addition to them being 6'4" and 6'6", they're athletic. So he has to make 2 and 3 motions, and then once he makes that motion, even the guy that's coming to help is someone that is just as athletic as the initial guy that was guarding.
Nation, Davis, Moore, all taking their turns guarding the CAA scoring leader, and they have effectively held him to just 3 points. As we go into 11 minutes to play, it's a 42-39 JMU lead. Wow, Nation attacking the rim. And they're gonna call another goaltend as hands were hung and the rim was rattled just a bit too much.
Excellent aggression. I like the movement by Nation. Nation has the ability to take this jump shot, but he puts it on the deck, goes strong. You see right there Brinkley's hand as well as Hagen's pulled on the rim, and anytime that happens, that's an automatic basket. So count the bucket, 5-point lead now for the Dukes. Brinkley can't corral that pass. Ron Curry, the freshman out of New Jersey who has been sensational, comes away with a rebound. You look at the future, and you don't want to look past this year because everyone's still focused on the big game tomorrow night and the conclusion of this one. But things are going to be pretty good in Harrisonburg and James Madison for Matt Brady and his crew coming back next year. Well, if they can stay healthy, they have some freshmen that have logged tremendous minutes this year that's going to put them in a great situation in terms of being prepared for the rigors of this league next year. Mal Higgins finally comes away with it, gives way to Anderson, who gives way to 3. Sadler hanging out on the wing. This time he's being guarded closely by Davis, A.J. Davis. And a mugging. Brinkley just takes the much smaller Ron Curry almost to the ground. Take a look here, loose ball, 2 guys going for it, and Brinkley was a little aggressive right there. I think he was just trying to slap the ball away. He was trying to come back through with the foul. Hit him on the shoulder. You know, you let that one go. That's no big deal. And I like how the fact how Delaware's bench didn't get into anything extra. Nation fell into it. Here's Sadler. He can dribble and drive now. Oh, he can flat out score the basketball. He's just had an awful lot of trouble and difficulty finding open looks tonight. 2 of 11 on the night for the CAA scoring leader. Sadler now with just 5 points. Nation comes right back. Freshman. That's exactly right. When you look at Nation, you look at Curry, these are 2 freshmen playing pivotal roles in this ball, on the success of this ball club. So next year, sophomores, they'll definitely be prime. Brinkley, power move to the middle, up. Can't get it to fall, but he will go to the line. And the fans from JMU letting Brinkley know about it. Taylor Bessett picking up his 4th foul of the game.
Brinkley from right here in Richmond, Virginia, graduate of Douglas Freeman High School, and nearly a 70% free throw shooter. He knocks down the first. Bessick will have to come out. Goins comes in. Normally a good amount of points come from Monte Ross's bench, but tonight it's Brinkley carrying the load. He's the only bench player to score points. He's got 9 so far, 3 with a huge offensive rebound and a putback.
That was big. That was a huge, great job that time by 3 and not conceding the rebound, going after it. And now you see Delaware, it's a new ball game. Delaware's only down 2. They have to stay solid, not get caught up in the emotional part of the game. Let Monte Ross work the officials and the guys on the floor just play.
You know, if you were in the arena and you weren't looking at the scoreboard, you would think JMU's got this game clearly ahead. And you look at the scoreboard, it's a 2-point game. Delaware kind of playing ugly. Best scorer can't get a basket. That man can. So 5 quick points coming from Jarvis 3. And just like that, it is Delaware on top of JMU 47-46. Come on back to Richmond for the final 8-18.
Paul, how many turnovers does
Monte Ross in his 7th year in Newark, Delaware, the head man for the Blue Hens, trying to work some magic on a terrible shooting night for his star, Devon Sadler. He has turned to other avenues, and Jarvis Threet, the sophomore out of right here in Richmond, Virginia, a graduate of Highland Springs High School, has provided that offensive lift, picking up 5 points in the last 30 seconds.
When you have good guard play, especially late in the season, you're going to always have yourself a chance. Sadler's been struggling, but what have they done? They've gone to 3, and 3's bailed them out.
3-point attempt coming, nothing there, and Sadler can't get it done offensively, so he comes up with a huge rebound. Into the lane, nowhere to go, gives up his dribble. Anderson bails him out. Threet feeling it, should have let it go. Nation blocks it clean. Baptiste comes away with it. Threet will go right back after it, drives the lane and puts it in. Scores mentality for Jarvis Threet. 9 points for the young man from right here in Richmond, all of them coming in the second half. Remember, he got 2 quick fouls in the first 3 minutes of this ball game. Nation can't get it to fall, and now the Dukes can't buy a basket. Timeout on the court. Delaware has pushed their lead back up to 3 by way of the shooting of Jarvis Threet, staying with it and dropping 2 on the Dukes. 10, the biggest lead of the game. Thanks, Paul. In the midst of an 8-0 run, they have a 3-point lead, and much of that coming by way of a local product in Jarvis 3.
Todd, sometimes you need your guys just to make plays, and Threed is doing it. You see right here, stays with his own shot, gets the offensive rebound right here, goes after the missed free throw, takes it back in for 2, and then comes down, pump fake, drives strong. He knows he's going to get hit, but he doesn't complain. He takes the hit anyway, and right there, he's in 3 as well. As a coach, you draw up plays, you search. Delaware has struggled in their half-court offense. You can't draw up the things that Threed is doing here in the second half. He's just making solid basketball plays.
Sadler able to get his offense going, so Threed has certainly picked it up. Hagens with a big rebound, puts it back in. So the Blue Hens are flying high now as they have found some offense, not in the form of Devon Sadler, the CAA leading scorer, but the contributing members of that offensive squad, the starters, Threed, Anderson, Brinkley, Hagens. Completely unbiased, we bring in the third member of our broadcast team, a proud Delaware grad, in Mike Corey.
Well, I tell you what, Jarvis 3, what he's done energy-wise for the Blue Hens, they love it. They felt like they said, hey, it's our time during that last timeout, but Monte Ross cautioned him, like you were talking about, Ron, to just keep his head in the ballgame because he felt like he was fouled on that last drive to the basket. And just what you said earlier about Baptiste, he says, Carl, will you finish? Dunk it home when you get it inside.
Here's my thing. If you could dunk, I would stay home and dunk all day. Lawn needs to be mowed, I don't care, I'm going to go out and dunk. If I could dunk, I would do it all day long for no reason.
Well, but guys your size usually say stuff like that.
I've always got Spud Webb believing.
But early in this game, we were trying to say, we were looking at, Delaware, they weren't in a flow, things weren't going well, and we were trying to figure out what was going on. Their last 7 games have been decided by 2 points or less. So they've been accustomed to playing these ugly basketball games and finding a way to come out victorious.
You said ugly, not me. Hagens, 12 points, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks, a complete game for him so far. Young man out of Roanoke, Virginia. We talked about the product and the quality of basketball players that come out of the Virginia area. Just amazing. JMU now trying to get the shot with all nation driving, can't get it to drop. But again, you gotta like the offensive mindset of young Andre Nation, the freshman from Plant City, Florida.
He's really, really talented. He has a huge, huge upside. And why he's so tough is because he plays on both ends of the floor. As you see, he catches it here, doesn't settle for the pull-up jump shot, tries to get all the way to the basket. Baptiste, the idea was right. He came over, but he was moving just a little bit to his right, and the officials caught it.
I always wonder how, and you can answer this from a former coach perspective in the NCAA, how a kid from Florida makes it all the way up to interior Virginia. He's passing over a lot of good schools that just didn't see it, Alan, or just thought, not our program.
Well, it's all about relationships. It's all about relationships. It's all about people you know. And also what happens a lot of times are former players at one university, they have relationships at other places, and that's how Nation came to JMU. He had a close relationship to a former player, and he's here.
Intentional and the basket. Threed did not want to allow A.J. Davis another highlight dunk, so he grabs him from behind.
Watch this. Davis is in full speed, tries to grab him from behind, but that's all weight room. That's the strength and conditioning coach on the bench, right? You see him at the end of the bench for JMU. He's as proud as he can be because right now that was just sheer conditioning, sheer brute strength, and A.J. Davis was able to explode through and finish it.
He's already had 2 explosive dunks on the day, and Threet, whether it was wise or not, commits the foul, the intentional. So Threet now with 4 fouls with 5:07 to play, and he has been the offensive catalyst. So Monte Ross can ill afford to lose in, as A.J. Davis, a 68% free throw shooter, misses on the first. Now remember, it's the 2 shots and the ball. So this could turn out to be as upwards as a 6-point play or a 5-point play if they can get a basket here. All tied up at 51. Curry finds Nation. This is a mismatch. Baptiste much bigger, but Nation much quicker. Curry left alone momentarily, off the mark on the 3, and Sadler comes away with the rebound. Boy, if you're Monte Ross and the Delaware Blue Hen fan, you'd love to see Devon Sadler warm up over these last 4.5 minutes.
And he's really capable. You know, he struggled the entire game. You can't go away from him. He's the one that has gotten you to this point in the season. You can't forget about him.
Devon Moore's going to match up with him. Knocked away. Baptiste up and in. Didn't need to dunk at that time.
And that's what you call making a play. Loose ball, you got to get those 50-50 balls. He explodes up and just makes a layup.
53-51, 4 minutes to play. I'm sorry, Ron, how well do you think James Madison can play in this slow-down half-court set as it comes down to crunch time? Well, good block. And that may get Sadler going. Go ahead.
Good job. With JMU, the reason they've slowed down just a bit, they're trying to figure out where the mismatches are. What big is guarding their guard?
Jump ball situation. The arrow points the way of the Hens. Carl Baptiste, the transfer from St. Joe's. Right man, right place, right finish from Monte Ross. 55-51, Blue Hens on top of the Dukes. Saturday night Formula One arrives for the first time on the networks of NBC Universal. The 2013 season starts down under with the Formula One Rolex Australian Grand Prix. Coverage is live Saturday night and will be replayed Sunday afternoon only on the NBC Sports Network as we welcome Formula One to the family. 55-51, 3:24 to play. Delaware on top as we check in with Mike.
All right, Todd, as spirited Matt Brady in the last time out said, guys, they're just beating us to all the loose balls right now. We've got to get on it and get the ball back and don't give them second chance at the basket. He said, we're going to win the game. We just got to hustle and get to those loose balls. And as you see, a timeout taken by Delaware. Also said, you know, we're going to take the lead with a minute to go, and here's what we're going to do. And he was really into it with telling his guys what they want to do here in the final 3:15. We'll see if they can do that here down by 4.
Matt Brady, the 87 graduate of Siena, has seen plenty of basketball in his day. All right, Ron, how does he get that done? What do they need to do other than what Mike talked about of winning each ball?
The thing is, I think defensively, they're at a point where now they have to continue to be aggressive, but not make senseless fouls and put Delaware on the free throw line where they can start to get back in this ball game with the clock stop. From an offensive standpoint, don't totally take the air out of the ball, but be efficient in terms of what you're trying to get done in the half-court set. By that I mean, don't come down and just make a one-on-one move, but look to score out of your offense. Get a down screen, get a cross screen, get quick ball movement, and then look to attack.
And then the next big question is, who would be your first option for going to on offense?
I put the ball in Devon Moore's hands and let him make that decision. Either it's going to be on him or he's going to be the one to penetrate and kick to a guy like Davis or even Ron Curry, who's hit some big shots.
Higgins comes around the corner, gives it over to Sadler, who lobs it up to Baptiste, deep in the post, mismatch there, and he goes right at it. A nice job. A.J. Davis had no answer for the much bigger Carl Baptiste.
That was one of the few times that Delaware took advantage of the mismatch that they had that time. That time, A.J. Davis far too small to contend with Baptiste on the post.
Wow, big shot. Andre Nation, the freshman, steps up and calmly drills the three, and it is a 3-point lead now for the Blue Hens. Can they maintain it? Stick around and find out when we return to Richmond. In 2:37, we should have our second finalist. Northeastern has already punched their ticket to the championship game tomorrow night. One of these two teams will join them. And here's Delaware once again.
The chess match begins right here. We see the mismatch. Davis on Baptiste. He's far too small. Baptiste goes right to the jump hook.
So Delaware breaks the full court press of the Dukes. And they'll slow it down a little bit and look for a very high quality, high percentage shot. Higgins comes across, wanted to give it to Sadler, but he was guarded too closely by Nation. This is 3, trying to get free, trips over the leg of Moore, and there's Sadler wide open with a shot clock at 6. Nation is just putting a lockdown on Devon Sadler.
Again, the length of the guards defensively from JMU is giving Delaware all kinds of problems. You see right here, isolated at the top of the key. Nation is 6'5". Sadler's 6'2". Measures him, gets the block. Shot clock violation.
That is freshman on junior crime right there, and that is the second time the freshman has blocked the shot of the CAA's leading scorer. Under 2 minutes to play now. Still a 3-point lead for the Blue Hens. No need to panic now for the Dukes. Get a quality shot. Devon Moore directing traffic, sending everyone to his right. Shot clock now at 10. Nation Nation off the mark that time, but Moore comes away with it. Fresh clock. Minute 25 to play in this one. Davis up and under. He's fouled by Higgins. And not a bad option, Ron.
Second chance opportunities right there. You've got to retrieve this ball if you're Delaware. But Davis isolated on the wing, doesn't settle for the jump shot, drives hard and draws the foul. But Davis was in a situation where he can make that move because Delaware did not box out and secure the rebound.
It certainly helps to have a 40-inch plus leaping ability that A.J. Davis possesses. Knocks down the first, so he cuts it to a 2-point game. Minute 22 to go. Timeout situation. Both teams have 2. Possession arrow going the way of James Madison. Hits them both. So they sub out Davis, bring in Diouf for defensive purposes. It's a 1-point game. Put the ball in the hands of Threet. Full court pressure. Gives way to Anderson. They're going to have to hurry getting around the timeline. Kicks it across, and there's Anderson ready to retrieve. Normal situations, I think Kyle Anderson pulls the trigger on that 3, but now with just about a minute 2 to go, Delaware's going to get a high percentage shot here. Sadler, 3. Off the mark, but it's Higgins with the rebound. Tries to kick it out to reset it, and it's picked off. So 10-second differential, 39 on the game clock, 29 on the shot clock, and JMU down by just 1.
That time I thought Higgins was in a situation when he got the ball, just take a power dribble and explode back. You see Threet misses the jump shot. He's right there. Take a power dribble and come back into play and explode. Use your jumping ability right here. Look, if he takes a power dribble back, just one strong dribble back, JMU would have certainly fouled him.
And he was in a tough situation for the big man because he was well underneath the backboard. Couldn't throw a pass with much of an arc on it, but great job by Matt Brady's Dukes for picking that one off. And now they put themselves in a position to take the lead. 39.5 seconds. Delaware, 2 timeouts. JMU now just down to 1.
Right now, if you're Delaware, you're going to pick up, you're going to put token pressure on JMU. You don't want them to just get a straight line pushing the ball to the basket. 29 seconds on the shot clock. Delaware will get another possession. They will get another possession. You definitely don't want to give up a 3 in this situation. If you're JMU, you're going to look to go early. You're not going to let this shot clock wind down. You're going to go for the first solid shot you can get without being in a heated rush. Look for Devon Moore to get the ball, high ball screen, and put a shooter like Nation or Davis in the corner.
Team foul situation identical at 5, and this really is, Ron, as you put it out, win or go home, because as much parity and quality as there is in the CAA, I don't see the NCAA selection committee taking 2 teams out of the CAA. So they get 1. So you've got to win this tournament if you want to go to the big dance.
Exactly. There's been no team in this conference that did what Bruiser Flint did last year, and they didn't take an at-large bid team last year. So right now you have to win it to get into the NCAA tournament, I sincerely believe.
Bruiser Flint, the head coach at Drexel, they were knocked out yesterday in the quarterfinals. So here we go, shot clock, game clock, 10-second differential. They put the ball in the hands of Curry.
Not for long.
Not for long, exactly. Devon Moore now will take over. Double team coming. Nation driving hard to the basket. Baptiste blocks it away. Huge defensive stand, and give credit to Carl Baptiste for holding his ground and making a great play.
You know, Baptiste did an excellent job at jumping straight up in the air. The verticality rule was in effect right here. Look here, his arms are straight up. Nation just puts the ball right in his hands. And credit the officials for staying consistent.
Yeah.
They have not been bailing players out on these drives to the basket.
Not a shooting situation, so Kyle Anderson will inbound. And they've had problems getting it there, and he's got to burn a timeout. Luckily, Delaware has 2. They're now down to 1. So each team 1 timeout. And you think, well, Nation maybe not the best shot. I thought maybe even taking an outside jumper, but they're only down by one. Even if they yield a basket, they're still in a position to tie it with a 3.
Exactly, that same motion, the isolation move, the drive to the basket, he'd had success early in the game, so they went back to it. I would have loved to have seen a guy like A.J. Davis get his hands on the ball, because he's a guy that once he makes his move, he's so athletic. When he pulls up for his jump shot, no one's there, or if he drives to the basket, he's so explosive. Look for JMU now to foul early. When the ball gets inbound, they're not going to let Delaware just run out the clock. They're trying to pick out who the poor free throw shooters are. Right now, Baptiste, he's one of the poorest ones at 67%. Sure. But the primary ball handlers are going to be Sadler, Anderson, as well as 3 handling this ball coming down the stretch.
13.3 seconds to go in the game. Each team with 1 timeout left. Anderson triggers the inbound play. It's knocked out of bounds. Great job by Nation.
Yeah, Threed has to be careful because Nation has nothing to lose but being overly aggressive going for the ball. If he gets it, great. If the officials call a foul, they just set up their defense.
12.7 seconds. And 3 is fouled, but no, he steps out of bounds.
And that's a prime example. You have to be strong with the ball. Diouf was overly aggressive. This was right in front of us. You see right here. There is a little bit of a push, but not enough to just totally bail out on the play. And Threed has to be stronger with the ball in that situation. That time I thought Threed was trying to bait the official too much to make the call as opposed to being strong with the ball.
Moore driving to the basket. They're going to call the foul.
Take a look here. You see Moore driving hard to the basket. The help comes, and from our angle, it looked like Hagen's got all ball, but the officials were right there on top of it, and they thought otherwise.
So Moore is 75% free throw shooter. Let's look at that inbound play one more time, because I really struggle to see where he stepped out. It was the ball. Is he saying the ball bounced on the line?
They called out of bounds. Yes, they called out of bounds on the ball.
Devon Moore hits the second. Monte Ross has got to be saying, are you kidding me? We had this wrapped up just like we did earlier this year at home, and they took it from us. So the Dukes with a 1-point lead, 3.7 seconds. JMU takes a timeout.
With all that Devon Moore has been through this year, dealing with his mom and the cancer, he said, look, I approach every day like it's my last, seeing the strength that she's exuded all year. He walked up to that free throw line, absolutely nailed it.
Well, Kathy, you have raised a good one in Devon Moore. He has been a warrior, Carol, he has been a warrior tonight.